Karate has to be the most made fun of martial art of all time. There's more that are worse, but I think karate just has like that household name thing. It's like the Nintendo, you know? Every video game console is a Nintendo, every karate is a karate. I had a buddy of mine, Adam, send me this, say, hey, this is really funny. It has karate. You know karate. And I said, well, wouldn't you know I do? Anyway, let's watch this. How to Get Banned from Karate by Shayne Smith. 2 S's in the name. Bad start.
I am 19 years old. I am out of my mind.
First things first, you're probably 19 for more than a day. Okay, sorry. That just had to.
And I'm walking past a wall, and on this wall there's a poster, and it is advertising a martial arts tournament. A one-day, winner-takes-all, no-holds-barred martial arts tournament, like UFC-style death tournament, okay?
I don't buy that. First off, he doesn't look much older than 30. They weren't doing this 11 years ago. 11 years ago I would have been 17. Do the math, that would have been 2012. They're not doing that back then. I don't buy that for a second. No holds barred. Karate's like kind of soft on average. Sorry. I do karate, it is.
I was like, that's me right there.
The average karate is, not the karate that I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna enter into the tournament. I will win, I guess, on account of my tenacity, is what I was thinking. And I was like, everyone's gonna respect me now. They're gonna know I'm the realist. This is my ticket right here to respect.
From who? The karate nerds? Who's gonna know about this? Didn't he say it was like the day before or something?
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, if you heard that and you're like, that's a terrible plan. If you fight people who actually know how to fight, they're going to punch your head off. And you would be correct.
Oh, okay.
But it's worse than that. Because I did not sign up for a one-day UFC-style death tournament. I accidentally, without realizing it, signed up for a one-day point-scoring karate tournament.
There we are. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no holds barred. Did it actually say that? Here's what I want to see. Point karate. It's cool. It's all good and well. 2 people trying to strike each other. If they get a shot that would be detrimental to the other person, they get a point for it. Doesn't even have to be detrimental. It just has to seem it. It's karate's way of keeping people safe. And the style of combat that they do, essentially. It's kind of gotten away from them a little bit. But you know what I want to see? Speaking of no hold barred point fighting, instead of going up in points, you got to give them HP. If you're going to take away points, at least make it seem like the points are like hit points or health points. And then once eventually they die, you know, it's like Street Fighter. Why are we not doing that? Start from 10, go down.
For those of you who don't know what that is, it is not no holds barred.
It's very
all holds barred, okay?
That's a joke I was gonna make.
Karate is not so much fighting as a celebration of karate, okay? Most of the rule sets don't allow you to actually punch each other. You tap each other for points. The referee resets you. Everyone has a good time. Karate's fun.
I don't know, man. People do get smoked in those tournaments. There's plenty of clips of people getting smacked up. And it started, from what I understand, so actually my dad was in these tournaments back in the day. But it was like in the 90s, like mid-90s. Like the same stuff you would see in Karate Kid. Man, I'm 1 minute and 31 seconds into this video. It's 23 minutes. Anyway, long story short, they didn't used to have the gloves. They still had the limited contact. Like you weren't supposed to hit super hard. My dad tells me a story about how he was banned from one because he broke somebody's nose. So that's not allowed, obviously. But I think it's, again, gotten away from karate a little bit.
Okay.
But as a celebration of karate, the comment he said, it's definitely a competition. It's an interesting way to put it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm gonna turn the hat around. Every time I put this hat on, I feel like it's like this. It bothers me, and I don't see it until later, but, you know, whatever.
It is not no holds barred. Most people don't even punch. It's crazy, okay? So, I have signed up thinking it's a death tournament, but it is point scoring karate. I go and tell my gang member friends, yo, I signed up for a one-day UFC style tournament. Are you guys gonna come support me? And they're like, yes. We will be there. That sounds amazing. One of my friends is like, what division are you gonna fight in? And I was like, they break up these divisions by belt. I'm gonna fight in black belt.
All right,
oh, that's crazy.
Daniel LaRusso, we'll see how it plays out.
I have a black belt. And I was like, it's not a problem. And it wasn't.
What?
You can just buy a black belt. They're like,
oh, okay. Got it.
$40. It's incredibly reasonable. We could all be black belts tonight, okay?
It's not.
Stops you. No
it's not wrong.
questions. There's no written test. The guy who sells it to you doesn't even do one of these to see if you do karate back at him. He does it, he's like, that was pretty fast, you can have it. I'm watching you though.
Usually people buy black belts for someone else. As far as the nobody asks you, people from the outside will watch you and be like, he doesn't deserve a black belt. They'll never say anything. They'll just talk trash behind your back, most likely. If you're a terrible black belt, that's kind of how the community is. They're not the kindest. But how are you going to get in this tournament?
No.
I mean, I guess the tournament's easy enough to enter.
I went to a store, I bought
What kind of store, though, is what I want to know.
The guy who sold it to me upsold me a pair of nunchucks, okay?
Where did he buy a black belt? We don't have martial arts gear stores around here. Where'd you buy a black belt is what I want to know.
That I was later arrested for using.
I do think they're illegal in a lot of states.
Sentence to say. I bought a black belt and I was sold nunchucks. But if you stop and think about what's happening in that situation, it's so much more insane than you think. Because here's what's happening.
Not really.
It is the year 2005. I have face tattoos in 2005. That's crazy, okay? To have face tattoos was like, that's a gang member, okay? I walk up, buy a black belt. They put it on the thing. He looks at me right in my stupid tattooed face, okay? Sees me, a gang member, buying a black belt I did not earn, obviously.
Not obviously, I mean, you could have.
I'm gonna sell this guy nunchucks.
No, here's what he was thinking. He probably thought, this idiot's buying a black belt, but I can sell him nunchucks too. That's exactly what happened. He doesn't care about your black belt. He doesn't care what you do with it. He's a martial arts school owner. Or I don't even know. Where did you buy a black belt from? That a guy that also sold nunchucks. The guy's just living his best life. Selling martial arts gear for fun, for money. But he's not selling much, which is why he upsold you a pair of nunchucks.
I was like, that's allowed? Chuck me up, let's go. He sold me nunchucks that I was arrested for using in a bar fight. That's right. Sounds tough if you don't think about it.
Wait, hold on.
If you think about it for any amount of time, it sucks.
You open carried nunchucks? Did you conceal carry nunchucks? Where were the chucks, is what I want to know, and why were they so readily available in a bar? Did you walk into a bar ready to chuck nuns? What? Okay.
It sucks a lot, because the implication of that is that I was in my 20s, going to bars with nunchucks, okay?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's stupid.
With no formal training, also.
I knocked a guy out full on. Bop, he went to sleep. Sounds tough, but then you have to stop and think about it, really. Because what that implies...
Assault. That's assault with a deadly weapon. Nunchucks are illegal in a lot of states. Zach, there's a list of states that nunchucks are illegal in. Look, all these states. That's not allowed in those states.
Brother and all my tough biker friends start a Wild West bar brawl. And they're all fighting like men. And then here comes Shayne with nunchucks just I'm in the Matrix. And you better believe I didn't know how to use them, okay?
Of course he didn't.
Oh, I watched 0 YouTube tutorials, okay?
He should have.
Fight started and I was like, wait for me, guys, trying to get him out of my pants.
Oh, they were in his pockets.
I got it. I hit a guy so hard that they do work. They do work, though. Woo!
Look, here's the deal. These are low-grade chucks, okay? They're just little wooden ones. But you can imagine that all you have to kind of do is just close your eyes and swing that thing. This will kill somebody. There's a reason it's illegal in a lot of states. This will do a lot of damage. It is a stick amplified by a string. This changes the momentum of the stick. It's not just a big... That's the fastest I can swing that. Unless I use the stringy part. These are very dangerous. Anyway.
Just knocked him out. Cold.
Why are we surprised?
I was arrested immediately.
As you should have been.
So fast. I got arrested so fast, it felt like cops were already in the bar. They were waiting for me. It was a kung fu sting or something. So I hit him, I was immediately arrested, and this is why I will never forget this night for the rest of my life, okay? I get arrested super fast. Now, hands behind my back, in handcuffs. The cop is leading me out of the bar under arrest. One hand on the back of my neck, the other hand gripping the chain of the handcuffs. And he is pushing me out of the bar. And as he's doing it, he says to the back of my head, he goes, "Michelangelo is my favorite."
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I would do if dude pulls out nunchucks with me. Like, if a guy started fighting me and he pulled out nunchucks, man, I don't know. You don't even have to be well trained to get smoked by a pair of nuns. Let's get to the tournament here.
So I have a black belt now, right? So I signed up for this tournament, and I do begin to develop anxiety. I'm not used to waiting for a fight. Now, don't forget, I do believe I've signed up for a one-day UFC-style tournament.
That would be stressful.
And I'm freaking out because I'm like, okay, well, I have confidence in myself, but these guys are like the best guys. They're black belts. Those are the best fighters, right? Now I'm like, what if they knock me out? What if they beat me up? What if they humiliate me in front of my friends? I'm going crazy. I have all this anxiety. I can't sleep. I'm obsessing. The day of the fights come, and I'm so nervous, I'm so racked with anxiety that I am not perceiving the world around me. As I walk into a high school gymnasium, okay, surrounded by children, all right? It is like noon on Saturday. This is not the time for a UFC-style death tournament.
I think that the process of waiting for a fight, or like waiting for matches for me, it is 100 times worse than actually doing it every single time. Especially the flight somewhere for me, the worst. I don't fight, like I'm not gonna get knocked out. I guess I could get knocked out in sumo. But for me, 10 times out of 10, the worst part is waiting. That's it. Like the full week leading up, to nationals, I was 50% confident, 50% like, oh brother. Like that's just how it goes. I think it's the worst part. And it's, for me, I'm doing the sport where you're so unlikely to have something really bad happen. So an all-out, no holds barred match where you don't even know how to fight, I can't imagine. I'm
literally in a gym, like in a basketball court with the wrestling mats laid out.
Yeah,
okay?
that's pretty on par.
People all over. In my mind, I'm so nervous that I'm just like, yeah, kids fight to the death too. Crazy like that.
It's 2005. It was a different time.
I'm so nervous. I send my gang member friends into the bleachers with the moms, and I sign in. I'm completely focused. Just looking at the mat. You can do this, Shayne. You can do this, Shayne. I'm freaking out. They announce the first pairing over the loudspeaker. They're just like, first up in the black belt division, we've got Shayne Smith versus Sensei Dan. It's like, the Sensei. Right? That's the best guy.
Guy's name's
like,
Dan.
Why am I fighting the final boss? That doesn't make sense. You don't do that first. I should fight 3 progressively bigger guys, and every time I beat them, I get some fruit, and that makes me healthier. Or something.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get that reference. Is that a very obvious reference? I don't get it.
Fight the best guy? Because in my mind, the sensei is the best guy, right? He's the sensei.
So, fun fact, sensei just means teacher. Karate teacher in this sense. It's anyone above a 2nd degree black belt is typically like when you start to use the term in America. Sensei is anyone above a 2nd degree black belt, or 2nd degree black belt, or higher. You're 1 belt off, my man. You bought it, but you know, it's whatever. Just means teacher.
Not realizing at the time is that every guy in this tournament is a sensei. They all own karate schools.
Oh, okay.
These children are their students. Why else would an adult be here?
Well, there's a poster.
But I don't know that. I'm like, Dan's the sensei. He's the guy.
Oh, I'm so dumb. The poster was to get people to come watch, not to participate. That's why. Because you don't get people to show up to a point karate tournament and watch. You get people to watch by saying no holds barred. You don't get people to compete saying no holds barred. Interesting.
So casual, and everyone's having so much fun with each other, they didn't even call him by his last name. They called him Sensei Dan. That doesn't occur to me. I'm just like, well, Dan's the ultimate warrior. I walk into the circle to get ready for the fight. All right, I'm here, the referee's here. Dan comes out, and I see him for the first time. Now, I can only describe Dan as like...
Pause, I'm gonna guess. Dan is slightly overweight, wearing goggle glasses, rolled up white pants, like from the bottom rolled up, bunch of patches on the gi.
Have you guys ever seen Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc.? You know that guy?
I'm not far off.
Right. Now, I would never body shame someone, okay? Truly from the bottom of my heart, if you are living your life and you're happy and killing it, I'm happy and proud for you. You keep doing that. But let's all be real with each other. Some bodies are not karate bodies, okay? Dan did not exactly have a body for karate, okay? But that's not what I thought when I saw him. I was so amped up and so nervous that as soon as I saw him, my first thought was, well, that's what the Ultimate Warrior looks like. Crazy, all his muscle is in the middle of him like that. We've seen this before. He could probably deadlift 800 pounds. That's a power belly.
To be fair, you never really know.
Dan is wearing eyeglasses.
Let's go! Oh! Wait, goggles or no?
You can't punch someone in the face.
Yes, you can. You should be able to. You can.
So he's safe to wear glasses. But I don't know that.
Wait, did no one prep you on the rules?
Wearing eyeglasses for a fist fight, and I'm just like, wow, you don't think I can hit you in the face? You're so confident that you're gonna matrix past all my punches. You wore glasses for the fight? Another level of confidence. So the referee says, fight. And dude, before his hand is even all the way down, I am attacking Dan like a wild animal. Right? Because how do you beat the best guy? You gotta go right at him.
I mean, it's not a terrible point karate way to do it.
On his terms, that's crazy. He's a master.
Sensei.
My plan is this. I go, well, Dan's the best guy. He's a karate master. He's the sensei. So I'm going to throw like 9 strikes in a row at him, and he will casually block all of them. But maybe one gets through. And that is my ticket to victory. I'm going to overwhelm him. I'm going to
not a bad idea.
Him with my confidence and aggression.
That's a great plan.
So that's what I do, dude. The ref's hand is even all the way down, and I am attacking him like a maniac.
You just need 1 point, though.
First strike I throw at Dan, big kick.
Oh.
Dan does not block it. And, in fact, chooses to absorb all of it into his stomach.
Oh, okay. Could be worse.
He takes a step back, doubles over, and made a sound I've never heard since. He sounded like a whale got the wind knocked out of it. He just went,
Grape lady. Pull up the grape lady. Gosh, anytime I can think of the grape lady, I try to. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think kick as hard as you want to in a point karate fight. Does it really matter?
And then from this position, he chose to lay on the ground.
Will he get DQ'd? I don't know. I don't think so.
Like, caught Sensei Dan slipping. Nice, right? And I'm looking at him on the ground, and the ref walks up, and the ref goes, don't look at him, turn around. I was like, what is happening? He goes, turn around, don't look at him. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. And he goes, don't look at him, turn around. And I was like, what, like he's a Medusa? And I put my hand over my eyes. The referee physically grabs me and turns me around. I was like, yo, dude, are we fighting from behind right now? What is happening?
That is a thing. I don't know why point karate does that, but if somebody gets hurt, they're like, turn around. Like in football, we took a knee to like show respect that you're like hoping for that they feel better, I guess. But no, yeah, they turn around for some reason. That's probably some old Japanese thing that Americans took and was like, this is cool. Let's do that.
So, for those of you who are wondering what's happening, in point scoring karate, if you hurt your opponent or they like fall down, in this rule set you're supposed to know, oh, they fell down, and immediately turn around and like kneel and look away. so that your opponent has space and time to regain their composure with dignity, okay? But what I did
Sounds right.
was kick my man in the stomach pretty hard, okay?
That's allowed. I don't see anything wrong here.
He laid on the ground writhing, and I just looked at him like, what now, Dan?
I think that still happens.
Turn around, and I put my hand over my eyes.
That's
His
hysterical.
pants had popped off. Now, it is fair to say at this point, they know I'm not a black belt, okay? So, the ref turns me back around, and to Dan's credit, he's up and he wants to keep fighting.
Oh, see?
Dan is about that action.
You gave him the space.
Now, this is the worst thing that can happen to me. Because don't forget, nothing has broke my illusion that Dan is the best guy. I just think my strategy worked and I got him. But I didn't stop him. He wants to keep fighting, and now he's angry. I have awoken the dragon that lives inside Sensei Dan. He's gonna super move me and I'm gonna die. Right? He's gonna Hadouken me or something. He's gonna quarter circle forward B and it's over. And then he says fight. Before his hand is even down, I'm jumping the gun again. I'm jumping away from Dan as far as I can to the edge of the circle. I can't be on the attack twice. That's not how that works. I'm on the defense. I jump away from Dan like the minute I can. Dan, I think, wanted revenge because he tried to kick me doing some Karate Kid jumping thing. But because I was already jumping away from him, his jumping kick whiffs completely. Oh. And then he falls forward towards me, foot forward, head down, because don't forget, big on top, small on bottom. So now he's down, bent down, head towards me.
Don't kick him in the head.
Like
Don't kick him in the head.
Okay? Now, in point scoring karate, you are not allowed to punch someone in the head.
He's kicking him in the head. There's no chance he's not kicking him in the head.
Towards me, that's fine, but I don't know that. I see Dan's head lined up like a T-ball, and I do what any of you would have done. And I was just like, United States of America, and I punched him in the head as hard as I could. Dan's glasses explode off of his body, and he goes to sleep. He goes the whole way. I have knocked him out. I have starched Sensei Dan.
That's not allowed. You're allowed to punch him in the... Like, I don't... In what world are you not allowed to strike to the head? But smoking somebody in the back of the head as hard as you can, that's less allowed, I think. I can picture exactly how Sensei Dan would have thrown that kick to and fallen forwards. Oh.
All right, he is fully out. I didn't even knock him out regular style. He got knocked out Looney Tunes style, okay? Do you know when someone gets knocked out so hard they go rigid first, like, I'm a tree, and then they go to sleep? He was down like this.
Oh, Dan.
Straight up like a board, Wile E. Coyote, and then he went down. I distinctly remember looking at him on the ground being like, I killed Sensei Dan. Interesting. So some lady yells right away. She's like, get away from him! Some guy's like, Dan, are you okay? And I'm just standing there like, did I win or what? I don't know the rules. So.
How did nobody? So at these tournaments, this would be the last match of the day. He would have showed up, watched a ton of matches, watched so many matches it's impossible. Watched kids do it, watch adults do it, and then eventually black belt adults. He didn't get a rules prep once. He didn't watch a match and go, oh, nobody's dying. Where am I? None of that happened. This guy has the perception skills of a mouse. Actually, mice are pretty... No, I take that back. Mice are terribly, poorly perspective. Mousetrap's the most obvious thing in the whole world. What is this guy doing?
Hundreds of people in this gym, right? That I just knocked Dan out. A lady is yelling at me. Every eye in this gym should be on me and Dan. But not one person is looking at us. No one in this gym is looking at us. Every eye, hundreds of people, is looking directly at the bleachers, where I realize I left my gang member friends who just watched me win a fight by knockout, and they are losing their minds. Dude, just full-grown men with face tattoos surrounded by moms screaming like they're powering up in Dragon Ball Z, just losing it, dude. One of my friends is grabbing a child by his shirt like, you seeing this? Someone jumped over the bleachers, walked onto the wrestling mats wearing his boots, took his shirt off, and was like, who else wants the smoke? People were like, it's not a group thing. He was like, it could be though. Dude, just one of my friends in a random mom's face, WWE style, like, bro, she's not a part of this. What are you doing?
Oh.
I was banned from karate forever.
Probably should have been.
But fair.
Yeah, I get that.
So I had to go gather up my friends. And I was like, I'm banned. And they were like, is that our fault? Team effort. That was all of us. This was an us thing, not a me thing.
I'm sure it didn't help.
And honestly, can I be real with you guys? I think being banned from karate is cooler than having a black belt. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, I don't think that's wrong.
Here.
All right, well, that was quite the story. Don't do this, guys. Hey, guys, don't do this. You may be under the impression that a karate tournament would be easy pickings. It's possible, you know, it's unfortunately possible. I've actually been in one karate tournament, like outside of my school, right? Like we did inter-school karate tournaments, and then I went to one. I wasn't trained for it, I didn't prep for it. I had these kids that I was teaching, and they were doing it. They were like, Sensei, come do it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I lost like 5-4. 5 body roundhouse kicks I get hit with. I land 4 shots to the head, a couple of a hook kick, a back fist, a ridge hand, and something else. I can't remember the 4th one. It was a long time ago. But no, I lost. It's the most frustrating experience to feel like you're like, oh, I'm obviously better than this person, and then lose via B button spam, you know? Yeah, so don't go find local karate tournaments and then try and win. Please don't. I beg of you, don't do this. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.